Here we have Fatah Hasham. They used to call themselves Jabhat al-Nusra. They're
also known as
Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda. Okay. We're staring
here. Jubat al-Khashab, the village that you can see here next to the quarry, is under their control.
Folks, there's Al-Qaeda, just over the horizon here.
And down here. Down here. The village that you see down here in the valley, Khananebe, is in their hands as well. Just north of Jubat al-Khashab is a village, El-Khadr, that's in the hands of Hezbollah. It's a Druze pro-regime village. So here we have Hezbollah, we have Al-Qaeda, we had ISIS.
ISIS a little further south.
You know.
Russia and Iran lurking, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards. Right. All at Israel's doorstep.
A terrorist buffet.
Yes. The world's worst actors have gathered in one place. Oh, and by the way, right across the border from the Jewish state.
Exactly. Here directly across from us, a little bit beyond, is the Syrian army. And from that base, they hold a strip of land all the way to Damascus.
Okay, they have a corridor.
A corridor basically up to here, exactly.
And again, Damascus about 35 miles from where we're standing right now, yes, in Israel.
Correct. So it's one of the reasons why Assad isn't that concerned about this area. He's got reasonable control. Even if he's not controlling every single village, he'll get to it. Again, he needs to get rid of the heavy stuff. Yeah. Now, you mentioned Russia. Russia's move in helped Assad. The Russians moved in entirely for their own reasons. With the collapse of Syria and Iraq and a good part of the Middle East, yeah, the empires are making their moves, or I call them the imperial wannabes, all of whom see America as at least the adversary, if not the enemy. Okay, I would say Russia sees America as an adversary. Yeah. Iran sees America as an enemy. Turkey, well,
I was going to mention Turkey. That's right? Adversary,
Turkey.
enemy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's taking an interesting turn. That's another story.
Exactly. But those are the sort of the power players,
yeah,
who are operating in here. Iran, on the other hand, is the real story here. And it's in Iran that has been the story for a long time, despite what was thought in previous administrations, particularly the most recent previous one. But Iran, going back to Khomeini, has had an expansionist imperial view of the world that sees America as the enemy strategically, geostrategically, and ideologically, religiously. Their move in Syria is based essentially on two things. One is to get to the coast because they want access to the Atlantic, and two is to get to this border to open a military front against Israel.
Iran wants access to the Atlantic.
Yes.
Just across the Atlantic is the United States, the Great Satan.
Yes.
So that's no coincidence.
They have stated that they plan for their Navy to patrol the Caribbean.
This is the Iranians.
The Iranians.
At America's door. We're talking about Israel's doorstep, at America's doorstep.
That's right. It's not a coincidence that they're operating, well, they're on the Straits of Hormuz by virtue of being there.
Yeah.
They're operating in Yemen and threatening the Straits of Bab el-Mandeb, yeah, which is the Suez Canal. Mm-hmm. Getting into the Mediterranean means that they basically have access and choke points along all of the world's great maritime locations.
Wow, so all of a sudden the Iranian regime is projecting power globally, not just here in the region.
No. And look, they want to resurrect the Persian Empire.
Yeah.
And the Persian Empire was global and it had global aspirations.
And the Russians want to resurrect the Soviet Empire, and the Turks want to resurrect the Ottoman Empire.
And here we are.
And here's Israel.
That's right, in the middle of it, as usual. Yeah. Look, I think there's something very important, because people tend to think of the Iranians as these fanatical religious mullahs with turbans, yeah, who don't understand what's going on. You know, people talk about Putin as a chess player. People forget that the Persians invented chess.
That's right. Literally.
Okay? These people are chess players. Yeah. They think strategically.
And they're patient.
Exactly. Over the past year, we've been fighting the Iranians in Syria. There have been strikes. As a matter of fact, there was just one.
Israel. As we're fighting the Iranians. Yeah, we've talked about it here in the show. Yeah. Okay. Some major flare-ups.
That's right. Yeah. And in the last major one, we inflicted very heavy losses on their infrastructure in Syria. Yeah. We set them back. I don't believe that changed their minds.
The Iranians' minds.
Correct. But I do believe that it changed their pace.
Good point.
And apropos patience, okay, we won't push a bad hand now. We'll drop back a little bit. This is when you castle and chess. Mm-hmm. Bunker yourself in a little. Let's build up some more. Next year's another year. The year after that is another year. We're not in a hurry.
They're playing the long game.